Local, trusted. This is News 3 at 10 on KBTX.
1 year ago today, former President George H.W. Bush died, leaving behind a lasting legacy, one that lives on today as members of the Bush School honored his life of service. News 3's Kendall Hogan explains.
How are you?
Aaron Rusho and a few Bush School classmates are delivering necessities to a local homeless shelter.
We tried to bring over some toiletries and household items for the people that they support.
A few miles away, Marty Mulgrew is raising money for a local charity.
What OnRamp does really makes a tremendous difference in the people that they're impacting, and is just a tremendous organization that does a lot of great work in our community.
These are just two of the 41 acts of service that current students and graduates of the Bush School of Government and Public Service are performing throughout the country.
Today is the first anniversary of the passing of President Bush, and even though we try to honor his memory every day and perform selfless acts in our community all the time, we thought today would be a great day to try to do something special.
Bush served his country in many ways, as a Navy pilot, diplomat, and finally, as the president, all the while encouraging others to be what he called 1,000 points of light in their community.
We want to be public servants. We want to help people out. We want to make a difference in our communities, and that's the kind of person he was, and that's the kind of people that we want to be too.
In College Station, Kendall Hogan, News 3.
The George H.W. Bush Presidential Library and Museum welcomed hundreds of visitors today for free tours. 1 year later, people traveled from all over the country to come pay their respects to 41. Families toured the museum to catch a glimpse of the life of service President Bush led. Visitors say they remember him as a family man who loved to live his life, giving back to his country.
Anytime you can come and honor someone and the life that they've lived and the contribution that they've made to our country, to the state of Texas, to their families, and to the world, I think it's important to always be able to honor a life.
President 41's gravesite was also open to the public to pay their respects. A Bryan man is in the Brazos County Jail tonight, suspected of dealing drugs. 31-year-old Hillman Davis was stopped by Bryan police while he was driving on East 29th Street. Police said they found several grams of cocaine, bags, and drug paraphernalia. He's facing charges including manufacture, delivery of a controlled substance, drug paraphernalia, and driving without a license. Police said an 8-year-old was also in the vehicle. Davis remains in the Brazos County Jail with bonds set at more than $12,500. Another Bryan man was arrested today accused of pulling a knife on a man and woman, threatening them, and dropping the knife on the ground, stabbing his own foot. Bryan police say 21-year-old Anthony Green made terroristic threats early this morning after a car he was riding in slowly followed a man and woman leaving Northgate. Then the vehicle pulled into a driveway they were walking towards. Police said Green got out of the vehicle and threatened to harm them. One of the victims said he was shoved to the ground by him. Police caught up with Green at a Bryan emergency room after he'd accidentally stabbed himself. He's still in the Brazos County Jail tonight on a bond of $8,000. Well, it was a kind of a warm afternoon. A lot of people were out doing holiday shopping or maybe getting their Christmas decorations inside and outside, and it was pretty warm and humid.
It was. I don't think it was probably very comfortable to be out hanging up some of those lights if you were one of those folks that did actually make your way outside today. But if you stayed inside and you just kind of watched some of those clouds roll on by, it was probably not a terrible idea. It was muggy, it was sticky. We had a little bit of rain trying to work its way through, and then by the afternoon, the sunshine finally started to pop in, and you can see we had a nice little thin band of cloud cover. That was that cold front, and that's about what most of us saw as it slowly passed us on by. It did give us a very beautiful sunset, though, as we wrapped up the rest of your Saturday. So here's where it sits, down across the southern parts of southeast Texas. You can see the little last bit of rain just trying to get north of the Houston metro area. The rest of us sitting pretty quiet. And really where we were sitting at 86 degrees today. It was hot, it was muggy, but how much longer does this humidity last? We'll let you know coming up here in just a few minutes.
Thank you very much, Erica. Most of the people that the Brazos Valley Food Bank serves live in Brazos County, but there are plenty of folks who need their help, including in Grimes County. Josh Ninke caught up with one of the pantries in Navasota.
All right, number 12. Do you want apple, orange, grape, or cranberry?
Apple. There's usually a line at the Christian Community Services Food Pantry in Navasota.
I've always had a good appetite. I like to eat.
Jeff Patrick has been coming for the last 3 years.
It helps out, through the month because food is kind of expensive when only you get one check a month, so I'm very grateful to have people like this around here that help me out with a little bit of food.
He patiently waits while the volunteers bag up the turkey, crackers, and everything else he asked for. The heart and soul of the pantry is Pat Gaston.
Right, and these are her bags.
Okay.
All right.
She's been keeping things running for almost 20 years.
It's been very uplifting. I feel like this is where God wanted me. This is a faith-based ministry. It helped me out at a time when I needed it.
It's that spirit of giving she passes along to others in need. A spirit she knows comes from a higher place.
I have to sit down and back off and say, God, do something, please. Okay, and then just wait. And what I've seen over the past 19 years or so, it's either a day to a month at the longest, something always comes in, always comes in. So this is his place. We're just operating it for him.
In Navastota, Josh Ninke, News 3.
Our KBTX Food for Families food drive is this Wednesday at the Brazos Center. We'll be out there all day collecting donations to help places like the Christian Community Services Food Pantry. Here's a list of all the locations. Well, it was a holiday affair in downtown Bryan tonight as wine was poured at local small businesses. The Downtown Bryan Association hosted its annual Wine and Wassail Sip and Shop event tonight. Small businesses lining downtown poured Texas wine for shoppers who stopped by for some holiday shopping. The event helps promote family-owned businesses in Bryan.
As we enter the fourth quarter of the year, the holiday season is what makes or break a local business. And so coming out and supporting those businesses is what keeps downtown Bryan unique and keeps the character of our community alive.
You can catch some more holiday festivities downtown on December 13th for the annual Lighted Christmas Parade. Well, later in sports, LSU looks every bit like the top team in the country against the Aggies.
And if you thought today was hot and humid, well, just wait. We've got relief coming on the second half of this weekend. And how long does it last? That's the big question. We'll get you all those answers right after the break.
Closed captioning on News 3 is sponsored by Brenham Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram.
Shop us 24/7 at BrenhamHasIt.com.
It's all about people, it's all about home. Working together, loving our own. From country roads to our city streets, it's the neighbors we love and the new ones we meet. KBTX, the very best we can give. We're here when you need us, here where you live, see life the way that you choose. News 3, this is your news. KBTX, it's the time that we share. It's for you, it's for me. People who care, Brazos Valley, this is for you. News 3, this is your
News 3 weather from the Pinpoint Forecast team is sponsored by the Bank and Trust. Local bank, local bankers. And now, local weather.
It felt more like spring here across the Brazos Valley as those thermometers climbed back into the 80s here across the area. In fact, we broke an 86-year-old record set back in 1933 of 83 degrees. So November 30th, 2019 will go down in the record books, and it was certainly well above where we should be sitting for this time of year. Good news is, if you're not a fan of some of that warmer weather, that cold front's getting on out of here, and it's taking all that warm weather with it. We had just a few very isolated showers. They now sit south of the Brazos Valley, so really no concerns left here across our area as we kind of continue into the rest of this evening. You'll notice that really kind of across most of the area, we clear out the clouds, and that does allow your temperatures to start dropping just a bit more. So Pinpoint Forecast clears everything out, all the rain, all the storms that were in across Louisiana cleared out here as we head in towards tomorrow morning. So if your travel plans take you that direction, shouldn't have too many issues. Some places where you may run into a few bumps is up towards the Great Lakes region if you have any flights connecting that direction. Otherwise, this is where November sits. just a little over 1.25 inches of rain. That's the best we could do here across the area. And you'll notice now we're not only down for the month, but we're also down for the year overall. So that does mean we're still carrying over some of these drought conditions into the beginning parts of December. That's for folks especially across the northern portions of Leon County, Houston County, and then as we head a little bit further off towards our far western counties. Some folks still sitting abnormally dry, so we could use a little bit more of this liquid rain. Unfortunately, there's just not great chances for it. Next couple of days going to be sitting very dry, Sunday included, and then you'll notice by Thursday we've got that next cold front coming on through. Does bring another chance for some scattered showers and storms, and maybe an isolated shower left as we head into your Friday morning, but I think that's about the best we can do. So here's what we are getting ready for. You'll notice your temperatures Sunday back down into the 60s, Monday the same. We start to work winds back out of the south for your Tuesday, so that's what allows your temperatures back up above average, and then we're working in just a little bit more heat Wednesday and Thursday out ahead of that front. Front comes through and then your temperatures make that decrease back down into the 60s. So we've got a couple warmer days here overall, but I think it's really going to be a beautiful end to the weekend. Traffic moving very slow or very clear. Well, tonight, as we head into the rest of this evening, we're sitting into the mid-60s, winds out of the north at about 9 miles per hour, so that will allow us to at least drop that dew point, which is good news because that's what's going to help your temperatures cool off as we head into the rest of this evening. I think we're into the 50s as we head towards midnight, and afterwards, we're starting to see those 40s come back in by early tomorrow morning, so you've got to be out early. You'll definitely want to have the extra layers with you. Lower 40s across our northern counties, upper 40s as you head a little bit further to the south. But again, plenty of sunshine throughout the day tomorrow. I think temperatures sit into the upper 50s, right around low 60s. And then this is your 8 to 14 day outlook. You'll notice December 8th through the 14th, all those temperatures sitting above average. But what you got to remember, average for this time of year sits into the lower to mid 60s. So again, we may have a few days where the 70s try and pop back in. It will be considered above average. But as of right now, no more days of like what we expected today, where we got the heat, the humidity, and temperatures back up into the 80s, at least over the next 10 days. So it's good news. Texas weather is always changing. You wait 5 minutes and hot and cold and everything in between. It is, and that's exactly what we're going to see this weekend too. All right. Thank you very much, Erica. Well, that's all the time we have for news and weather. Sports Saturday Extra coverage is up next. Stay with us. But first, a quick look outside from our Live On Network.